Good Sunday morning, my friends. I am Molly Levine alongside Jason Doris. Well, really, you're in the studio this
Yeah.
morning, Jason. But it looks like I'm there too, so it's fine. Hey, so we've got quite the storm coming, and it is pretty cold this morning. Hopefully, you're joining us from this coffee break with maybe a warm cup of coffee opposed to an iced cup.
Yeah, that is right, Molly. Hopefully, everyone has some sort of warm beverage of their
Mm.
choice and um, maybe just sipping on it all day long because of how cold it's just going to be from start to finish. Really, just a bit of a crummy day with regards to that.
I mean, even walking outside this morning, it was early, but it was like, what, 7 degrees? Is it still looking like that right now?
Well, hopefully, those temperatures are bottoming out right now, but they're even colder than that at the moment. So,
Jeez.
obviously, when you factor in the wind too that we still have, Molly, things are much colder than that. We can see some of our coldest wind chill values that we've seen all morning long. No joke, in Smithfield, feeling like negative 16 degrees, negative 11 for downtown Province, negative 14 for Newport, colder up in the higher elevations of Worcester County right now, and then southeast Massachusetts, just because some slightly lower winds right now, but still -8 and -6 in Taunton and New Bedford, respectively. Not necessarily what I would categorize as pleasant by any means.
Yeah, definitely not. And of course, we have the weather alert today for these cold temperatures, these bitter cold temperatures. You really don't want to go outside without a hat and gloves today.
Yeah, that is right. This is kind of our 1-2 punch with regards to the cold weather today, which then sets the stage for our snowstorm. Like you were just mentioning, like our temperatures, our actual air temperatures, you walked in, it was what, 7 or 8 degrees,
Yeah. Hmm.
down to 5 degrees in province, so our coldest morning of the year, on top of the fact that we also have that wind in place. But as we go forward through today, that sunshine that's going to be in place is going to be very, very deceiving, as probably topping out right around 15 degrees for province, which is going to be our coldest afternoon that we have seen since 2019. So
Whoa.
7 years since it's been this cold for a daytime temperature like that. So a little bit crazy there.
Yeah, that's a crazy stat. Hopefully there's not too many outdoor plans today. I know, there's already a list of school closings for Monday. That's talking storm wise. And we've also got parking bans. That's all on our website. So things to be, definitely prepared and up to the know about, Jason.
Yeah, so hopefully no one has to really go out and about today. And tomorrow is going to be the same thing too, when we're starting to see the snow move into the area. And obviously, this is what everyone's kind of waiting to hear about. Our snow, with regards to when it's going to start, we've tweaked it just a little bit with regards to maybe an hour earlier. So the start time across much of the area should be sometime between about 9 a.m. and noon time. So probably going to start to see it in maybe down towards Westerly, Charlestown, South Coast of Rhode Island, while we're doing sunrise tomorrow morning. And obviously, I'll be here tracking that all as that is moving into the area.
Yeah,
So,
we also, I mean, today, as far as today is concerned as well, we know we have the press conference with Governor Dan McKee. He's going to talk about the state's preparedness at 10:30. We'll be carrying that live on NBC 10. Some other things that I just want to mention before we go into all this travel impacts and whatnot, all the fun stuff that you have for us, Jason. Some warming centers. If you or somebody needs this information, make sure to get this to them just really quickly. Providence has at the Emmanuel House, will be used through Tuesday morning. That address is 239 Public Street for a warming center. Fall River also has First Step Inn as an overnight temporary shelter. That address is 134 Durfee Street. And then in East Providence, the Robert E. Rock Senior Center has already been open as a warming center since I believe Wednesday. So that address is Waterman Avenue. So some important information there. That's also on our website, turnto10.com. These travel impacts, Jason, I mean, you said it best. And I think it's something that you can't say enough is this Patriots game. A lot of people want to go out and watch it. They want to go to the watch parties, but it really, I mean, it couldn't be a better time to just stay home and watch the game.
yeah, unfortunately, you're not necessarily going to be able to watch it with the boys or your friends because it might not look bad as the game is starting or during some of the pregame coverage, but as that game goes on, this system is going to be hammering Southern New England with some of the worst that it has to offer. So you're also just talking about the state having their press conference on their preparations. I think this is probably going to be one of those types of storms that you just kind of tip the cap to Mother Nature, and the plow
Let it
truck
go.
drivers are, yeah, plow truck drivers are just not even going to be able to keep up. So that's going to be one of the big issues, as we can clearly see with our travel impacts here. We start off things in the morning fine through 9 a.m., but then that snow's starting to develop by noontime, just because of how cold the temperatures are going to be, probably going to be upper single digits, low teens, as the snow is coming down to the first half of the day, which means it'll stick to the roads right away. And that road salt that the state has been caking on, as we can clearly see when we're driving already, probably not really going to be that effective. And then snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour after 2 p.m. is going to be reducing visibility. I think the half mile is generous, even when you factor in the wind that's going to be blowing the snow around as well. And then into the evening time frame, there's just going to be so much cleanup for the state to actually do that it's still going to be kind of tough to be getting around on those roadways. So, like you mentioned, Patriots game, probably best on the couch.
Yeah, definitely. And the last time we had a storm like this, Jason, was blizzard of 22, correct?
Yes, that is right. This is likely going to be the biggest storm since the blizzard of 2022. Our magic number at TF Green is going to be, I believe, 7.1 inches. But as you remember, reporting out in the blizzard of 2022,
Sledding.
yeah, when it's snowing that hard, you really just not too much to do besides just let it snow and wait it out.
It's so funny because, I have a friend from Georgia who recently moved to New York City, and she's texting me last night like, "Hey, so what do I do? Why is everybody getting bread? Like, why am I staying inside?" I'm like, "No, you just have to ride this one out. You just have to like stay in. The best thing to do is like make sure you have what you need to be snowed in and stay safe. Like that is the most important thing right now. You don't want to be on the roads when crews are trying to clean up. That's like
Yeah.
the worst thing you can do. So
Yeah, absolutely. And getting the bread and milk, I know several people have told me that they've attempted to go to the grocery stores the last couple of days, and it's been absolute chaos. So I can only imagine, as again, biggest snowstorm potentially in a couple of years here. But our one limiting factor that we could have for our snowfall is going to be that potential. We've been mentioning this for the last couple of days now, of the snow mixing with some sleet at the south coast, maybe as far north as Coventry, up through West Warwick, Providence, maybe Swansea, over through Taunton. We could see that sleet. Interior locations, those are going to be the big winners, and that's why we still kind of have the same forecast overall of that 12 to 18, that 18 inches more for northern Rhode Island, northern Bristol County, probably a foot of snow for the middle part of the state, and then 8 to 12 for the south coastline, of which most of which is going to be on the ground by about 7 o'clock or so, as we're starting to see potentially a little bit of that sleet moving into the area. So again, this is going to be a quick thumping of snow on the front end. And if you're not really prepared for that, it will catch a lot of people off guard for sure.
absolutely. Make sure you have your storm team alerts as well. That's a good thing to do and sign up for. And I think it's free to do just that, and you get notifications to your phone. So that's good. I do want to say good morning to our friends. I'm seeing some comments pop up. I know it's not our normal Facebook Live format, but we are seeing some hellos and good mornings from Alan. We've seen Emily. We've seen Jeff has checked in. Kaylin, of course, has checked in, our good friend. Sydney says, I went to the store yesterday and they were so packed. Lines were ridiculously long. Barely anything left. Definitely no bread and no water bottles. That is something, I was talking about this. I feel like that is I may bite my tongue when I say this, but like maybe a thing of the past. Like, why do we go out and get all of these things? Like
These
do we need
amenities,
to do
yeah.
that? Like,
I don't know.
I
mean,
don't know how long
personally,
we're going to be snowed in for, I guess, but I just feel like, I don't know. Maybe you need the
I
bread, the milk, and the eggs that
I think
bad.
it's just so ingrained into our heads of like, oh, we
Yeah.
need to get everything before this storm hits, even though like Tuesday, it's going to be perfectly fine.
That's what I'm
So
saying, like I just get what you need. Don't go crazy. But I do understand that, we're Rhode Islanders and a lot of people go out and prepare for this stuff. So that's okay too. I personally am going to the grocery store after this, but only because I'm going with my
maybe,
friend. I'm braving it with
oh, okay.
our good friend Courtney Cole Luca, our 11 p.m.
Our
producer.
producer, yeah.
She's like asking me to go with her, so I'm getting roped into it. I can't wait.
Yeah, maybe you guys will finish checking out by tomorrow morning sunrise show.
Yeah,
I don't know.
honestly, that's the hope. And if you don't see me tomorrow morning, it's because I'm still in line at the grocery store. Angelo says, is there a chance for more snow in southern Massachusetts?
So in southern Massachusetts, I assume southern Bristol County, the big wild card is going to be more or less what is to come on Monday. It's a little bit too far out. We're waiting for the high resolution models to get a little bit of a better grasp of some of the wraparound snow that there's going to be. I do think inside of 495, that 18 inches of snow maybe could be a little bit closer to 20 inches because of that potential of tacking on Monday an additional maybe 1 to 3, 2 to 4 kind of situation. How much of that kind of makes its way down into New Bedford is a little bit uncertain, but there is the potential that New Bedford could be a little bit higher than a foot, but that sleet is going to kind of slow down that snowfall come Sunday night.
And I'm looking at these totals right here that we have,
Mhm.
12 to 18, 8 to 12. I'm thinking like, you got to think of your pets during this time too.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know the best advice for the pups, but like my dog's a little short and stocky. So, I mean, I'm thinking like bringing him out in this snow, it's going to be tough, but just do what you can, I guess. If you got any sweaters for your pets and maybe some boots, that might not be a bad idea.
Mark,
Sure, go ahead.
I was going to say, Mark was texting us yesterday. He literally bought a snowblower for the first time in years. So his golden retriever is very finicky of when it likes to go to the bathroom. And if there's snow on the ground, she refuses to go. So he's like, I literally got a snowblower to snow blow a patch for her in the backyard.
Wait, that's actually genius. I mean, I'm not going to get a snowblower, but I definitely have a shovel. I can maybe, do you think shovel's going to be the way, like, is that going to be possible? Like a snowblower might be the only way, right?
I was gonna say, if you have a snowblower, then this is
Use it.
definitely gonna be that storm to take it out for. But I know my father is very superstitious. Of he refuses to take the snowblower out of the shed until after the snow's on the ground because he's like, if I put that thing in the garage, it just doesn't snow. So,
That sounds like
but
Joe.
yes.
Hey, Don says, will the winds be bad during the storm?
Yeah, so you're definitely going to notice the winds, especially just because it's going to be cold as the snow is coming down. Sunday evening, looking at a window between about 4 and about 8 p.m., where the winds and the snow will be so bad, probably going to have near zero visibility, probably going to have some drifts, but we're not going to necessarily reach that criteria to classify this as a blizzard. So, but still going to be windy come Sunday evening.
I think this was actually, Kaylin, you're stealing my question right from my mouth here. Is it going to be a fluffy snow? Just wondering because of power outages, something you mentioned on the show earlier, Jason.
Yeah, so the good news is this is not going to be like last week where we had that very thick, wet snow that stuck to everything. This should be, as it is coming down initially for everyone, a light, fluffy snow. In the area where it is 8 to 12, as that sleet kicks in, it's going to probably compact, become a little bit more heavier. But for interior locations, especially north of Providence, I think that's going to be a nice, light, fluffy snow, and that fluffy snow is going to stack up very, very easy.
Kendall says, now I'm just going to hammer you with questions, if that's okay, Jason.
That's
Kendall
fine.
is asking, do you have an idea when the snow is supposed to stop Sunday night into Monday? And I think this is also an important thing because you don't want to go out there and start snowblowing or shoveling if it's just going to continue. So, when is it supposed to stop?
Okay, so the worst of the storm should be over by about midnight. That being said, there's still going to be a little bit of some patches of sleet and some snow as we go into Monday morning. You might wake up initially on Monday, depending on where you are. And it could just be cloudy, but we'll start to see some light snow showers, maybe even some moderate snow showers wrap back around on Monday on the backside of the storm system. And that could lead to, again, maybe just some more minor accumulation on top of that. But if you want to maybe do 2 waves of shoveling, it'll be initially there on Monday morning, and then you're probably going to have to do one more scraping probably come Monday afternoon when things are starting to end.
Okay. Liz, what time will it start?
What time will it start? Great question. So that window that we're looking at for the snow to be moving in tomorrow morning is going to be from 9 a.m. to about noon time, and should be light to moderate right off the bat before it becomes heavy after about 2 p.m.
And that's Sunday, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we can't say it enough. Like Patriots, I know it's an exciting game, and I know you want to go to all the watch parties, but I think something you said is like when you get out of the game, even though it might not be too bad when you're going to watch. It's a 3 p.m. Kick, so it might not be terrible when you're going to watch it, but when you come out
Yeah.
of it is when you should really stay home and watch it.
Yeah. So I know, to kind of put this into perspective a little bit more, like last game, a lot of people probably still were out and about for the Patriots game, and it was already starting to snow hard towards the end of it, where some of the area probably had about maybe 1 to 3 inches, 2 to 4 inches on the ground. Um, it's going to be much, much worse than that, because it'll be snowing basically at 2 to 3 inches per hour at that point. So the roads are going to be very difficult to get around on. Plow crews are
Yeah.
just simply not going to be able to keep up with all that snow. So again, it might be tempting, but by the time that that game's wrapping up, no shot that you're going to want to be driving around,
I have
especially
a
if the
question.
Patriots win.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, just maybe go to the liquor store, get whatever you
Yeah,
need, and bring
enjoy
it
the
home.
celebrations at home. Yeah.
No, I have a question for you that actually maybe sounds like more of a reporter question than a weather question, but I think it was in maybe a Ryan Medeiros package where
Mhm.
he interviewed somebody and she said, "Oh, I'll believe it when I see it." What's kind of your message to those people who are like hardy New Englanders who are kind of like, "Oh yeah, like I'll believe it when I see it. We'll see."
The funny part about that actually is, before I left the weather office last night, Mark and I were talking about the snow, and obviously the last few winters have been absolutely disappointing for snow lovers and whatnot.
Right.
So many snowfall forecasts where it looked like it was going to be something, and then it ended up fizzling out completely. And I literally had told them, I was like, I'll believe it when I see it, when they're measuring a foot of snow at TF Green. But for those people, this on the front end, there's so much cold air, and this is such a perfect setup to have a really good snowstorm. If it wasn't for the fact that we were going to have some milder air switching us over to sleet to reduce those levels at the coastline, um, this could be like a fairly notable snowstorm of where we're looking back in maybe 3 to 4 years, being like, oh, remember the snowstorm of 2026. But I do think if our baseline in general is about 8 inches to 12 inches of snow, I still think a lot of people, with regards to the fact we haven't seen anything remotely close to this
Right.
since 2022, that everyone's still going to be losing their mind just a little bit.
Right. You're seeing it here now, so you should believe it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any more questions? I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm not sure how to do it on this side, but that's okay. Maybe if they pop up, they will. So yeah, I mean, so also if you're wondering why we're not on TV right now, usually on Saturday morning it's 8:30 to 9:30. We are on 9 to 10, and then of course the governor Dan McKee will have a press conference on the state's preparedness. We'll carry it live both on NBC 10 and our sister station, Coastal ABC, and then we'll do a quick recap of kind of what was said. So we'll make sure to have that. Jason, you guys are going to be busy. I mean, you're a little bit excited also about going into the field on Monday morning, I hear.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a sucker for snow. So I mean, I love these type of big snowfall events, and when I get to just basically go out there and play in the snow, just someone has a camera on me, it's fine.
Right.
That's
It's
always
a fun day at work.
Yeah, can't really complain. Life is good, but no, we're definitely going to be busy with regards to just kind of ironing out the final details of how far north we kind of see that sleet, and then how impactful that back end of the storm system is going to be on Monday. I know Nick is in tonight. I'm back in tomorrow morning, and then Mr. Searles is going to be anchoring the fort down on Sunday night here. I believe we have a half an hour on NBC 10 at 6 o'clock, and then we're going to be switching over to Coastal ABC at 6:30 to do another half an hour there, and we're going to have crews around the area already reporting on what's kind of going on, and then you and I are back in on Monday morning to kind of catch up on some of the cleanup that's going on probably at that point.
Yeah, I'll be in the driving car reporting on road conditions. So thankfully, Paul T, one of our veteran photographers, is going to be driving me around. So that's the other thing, like we think about, oh, people are canceling work, people are canceling school, but there are some people who have to go to work, nurses, doctors, people like that,
Mhm.
and firefighters, first responders. It's inevitable for some people to have to go to work in this. So just definitely be careful, and I don't even have great advice for driving in the snow because it is one of my least favorite things, actually. So,
Yeah,
um,
that's a great point though. With not everyone is going to have the work canceled. As
yeah.
my wife still has to be at the hospital for
Oh,
six
does
thirty on
she?
Monday morning. Oh yeah, so I gotta when I'm leaving the house, probably I'll clean her car off, maybe
You have
shovel a little
to.
bit, do a little snow blowing, and then make sure she can at least get out of the driveway. And then I don't know what the roads are going to look like at that point, but hopefully
Yeah.
they're clear enough.
I remember, when my mom she's retired now, but labor and delivery nurse,
Mhm.
like Alyssa there, she would sleep at the hospital the morning or, overnight. And some days she'd get stuck there. You get snowed in,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
we appreciate everybody who has to go to work and is going in to do that. So
Mhm. She knows a lot of her coworkers who are doing the sleepover Sunday into Monday.
sounds
Uh,
fun.
yeah, a little bit of a party at the hospital, but
Right.
um, for at least for my wife, it's a little tough with regards to the fact that she's not working on Sunday, so it would be like she has to get to the hospital for
Right.
like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then watch the
Right.
Patriots game there. So,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So
Hey, she'll be great. Kaylina says, I hope I'm saying your name right. Is Burrillville area going to get more? I feel like that area always gets more, but
the
Jason, you're the
jackpot
pro.
zone. Yeah, so I'm not going to be surprised if Burrville, Foster, all of them kind of get some more just because of not necessarily seeing, um, let's see how to phrase this properly, um, more snowfall itself or liquid. I think the temperatures are going to be so cold in those locations in those communities that the snow will be so light and fluffy that even though the same amount could be falling just to the south and I don't know, we'll say a little bit closer to like Cranston area. Same amount of snow falls, but in Burrville it'll just stack up more and be fluffier, so it could measure more. If that makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, that
So the
does.
fluff factor will play a bit of a role.
Do you have your ruler ready?
Um, so we do have the ruler in the weather office. Where I think I'm going to be stationed on Monday morning, I'm going to need more of the yardstick to kind of be measuring the
Oh,
snow. Um, the yardstick, apparently someone borrowed it to take it to a pinata, and it's a little bent. So I got to go to Home Depot and I got to go get a new yardstick for Monday morning.
oh my gosh, that's tragic. We won't say
Yeah,
who did that, but yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I guess we should get ready for TV time. But is there anything
Yeah,
else that, is important to mention, Jason, that you think?
yeah. Again, I just think trying if you need to be going anywhere to run any sort of errands early tomorrow morning, just try and make sure that it's done by noontime at the very latest. It's already going to be snowing by that point, but at least by noon, if you're back home situated where you're going to be for the Patriots game, then you're not going to have to worry about the worst of the storm as it kind of kicks in. And then you just kind of hunker down until we get into Monday morning, do your snow removal then, and still going to have that snow coming down for a good portion on Monday, but not going to be anything remotely close to what we could potentially see tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening in the height of that storm.
All right. Tomorrow we're talking sports and snow. We have you're obviously going to be here. We have Frank Carpano coming in. We have some crews in the field as well. So it's definitely happening, and we will be prepared for it. And we are here for you not only through the weekend, but also starting Monday morning. Like I said, me and Jason will both be in the field, and we will be showing you conditions. So with that being said, make sure to join us on channel 10 here in a little less than
20
30
minutes,
minutes.
yeah.
Yeah, 20 minutes there. We're going to be there. So hope you'll join us. We'll see you there.